All right, what up, YouTube? Coming to y'all today with a quick word of God. And then today I'm gonna mainly be out of Proverbs. I know it's been a minute. I had a few lessons I've been wanting to teach, but for some reason I've been holding off on them. But whatever, here it is. I'm gonna be back today. Like I said, I'm gonna mainly be in Proverbs today, and I'm gonna start off in chapter 14, and I'm gonna go to verse 29. I'm gonna read that real quick. It says, "He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding, but he that is hasty." Hold on, I lost where I was at. Hold on. He that is hasty of spirit exalts of folly. All right. Proverbs 13:29 said that he that is slow of wrath, he that is slow to wrath, is of great understanding. And I'm gonna go to Psalms real quick. Switch back and forth. I'm gonna be in Psalm 103, verse 8. Because Psalm 103, verse 8 says that the Lord is merciful and gracious, slow to anger, and plenteous in mercy. All right. So again, we go back to Proverbs 14:29. It says that Proverbs 14:29, my bad. 14:29 says that he that is slow to wrath is of great understanding. And then doesn't Psalm 103, verse 8 says, and that last part that well in the middle of it, it says that the Lord is slow to anger. You see what I'm saying? And I was just as I was reading that, what it made me think of, is we all made in God's image and all that. So if we're gonna be made in God's image, then it only makes sense that we should exhibit some of the qualities that God exhibits. You see what I'm saying? So God is full of love, so we should be loving. God is forgiving, so we should be forgiving. Right here in Proverbs 14:29, like it says, he that is slow to wrath is of great understanding. Ain't our God an understanding God? And he's slow to wrath? So shouldn't we also be slow to wrath since we made in his image and we should possess those qualities that he possesses? It says that he that is slow to wrath is of great understanding, like our God, since we made in the image of him. But it goes, hold on real quick. Wipe this down. Out the shower with my damn hair still leaking water, so I don't want to damage this computer. Wipe it off real quick. But yeah, the first part, like I was saying though, 14:29. He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding. Like our God, since we made in his images, we want to exhibit those qualities that he exhibits. Then the second part of that says that, but he that is hasty of spirit exalts of folly. And ain't that true? Remember, I'll take y'all through that lesson in Matthew. I think it was 8 or 26 or somewhere. Maybe it was 8:26, but it was in Matthew. And as soon as Christ commanded that those demons could leave out of those men and went into those pigs, those demons took those pigs straight off a cliff. They didn't think about nothing. The pigs didn't even want to eat. Ain't that crazy? All pigs are known for is eating. They didn't even want to eat. They just went straight off the cliff. You see what I'm saying? And that's what that second part of 14:29 is saying. But he that is hasty or quick of spirit exalts a folly, because that's not a quality of our God. The quality of our God is being patient and being slow to wrath. But of course, the evil one, the devil, is quick of spirit. He don't want you to be patient. He wants you to hurry up and do everything. Remember when he went to Christ on the mount, he told him, "I give you everything if you worship me." He wanted Christ to hurry up and say, "All right, yeah, I'll take everything in the world." But no, Christ being God in the flesh, being patient, not just being patient in thoughts, thinking, let me think about this, but being patient and suffering, knowing like I can have everything I want right now in the whole world if I sell out to the devil. But no, I'm gonna be patient because I know what's coming after this. So again, that's why in 14:29 Proverbs it's talking about he that is slow to wrath is of great understanding. We should want to be slow to wrath, and so we can be of great understanding like our God. Let's be patient, since that is another one of his qualities, as is being merciful, forgiving, and everything else that I said, truthful, and all that. Like I was saying on that second part, but he that is hasty of spirit exalts a folly. Again, like I said with the pigs, you see, the demonic spirits was hasty in spirit to send them through that folly of murder to take them directly off that cliff. So as I was reading Proverbs, it's kind of what I got up out of that. And like I said, I'm gonna be in Proverbs today. So let me I ain't gonna be all of it. Like I said, it's gonna be quick anyway. So the next part of Proverbs I was gonna be in, I think I was in 25. Let me get there real quick. There you in 25. Proverbs 25, verse 6 through 7 says, "Put not thyself in the presence of the king, and stand not in the place of great men. For better is it that it be said unto thee, Come up hither, than that thou shouldest be put low in the presence of the prince whom thine eyes have seen." All right. And this ain't really talking about being in the qualities of God and all that, like I was just talking about. But like I told y'all, matter of fact, I hit y'all before. I forgot which video it was, but I was proving that Christ is the fulfillment of the Old Testament. Remember, dang, hold on real quick. All right, what was I at? I know I'm in 25, 6 through 7. What I leave off at though? Let me just read it again. I said, "Put not thy forth in the presence of the king, and stand not in the place of great men. For it is better that it be said unto thee, Come up hither, than thou shouldest be put low in the presence of the prince whom thine eyes have seen." All right. And remember, like I was saying in one of my lessons, though, that Christ was the fulfillment of the Old Testament. And I forgot what. Oh yeah. Not yeah. I was telling y'all, there is he that maketh himself rich, but is poor. Now is he that maketh himself poor, yet have great riches. And then Christ tell the man, if you want to have great riches stored up in heaven, sell everything that you have, make yourself poor, and follow me. So again, I'm finna show y'all more of basically the manifestation of the Old Testament that Christ has become in the New Testament, or the New Testament that he is. Because I'm gonna go to Luke real quick. I'm gonna be in hold on. I think it's Luke 14 or 16, one of them. But remember what I just read. I'm gonna go back over it anyway. But out of Luke 14, yeah, it's Luke 14. So I'm gonna be in Luke 14. I'm gonna go to 8. It says, "When thou art bidden of any man to, if thou art, when thou art bidden of any man to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room, lest a more honorable man than thou be bidden of him. And he that bade thee, and him that come, and say to thee, Give this man place, and thou begin with shame to take the lowest room." And yeah, ain't that what we just read in Proverbs 26, 25, 6 through 7? "Put not forth thyself in the presence of the king, and stand not in the place of great men. For better is it that be said, for better is it that it be said unto thee, Come up hither, than that thou shouldest be put lower in the presence of the prince whom thine eyes have seen." So, and that's making me think about this too. Christ was God in the flesh, right? And we know who God is. God is understanding, patient, loving, and all that. So with Christ being God in the flesh, of course, he is patient, loving, merciful, and all these things as well. So what this making me think, our God, not only is he wise, but he's knowledgeable and understanding. And I remember, didn't that verse in Proverbs 14 just say, chapter 14, verse, whatever, verse 26, 29, whatever it was, didn't that verse just say that he that is slow to wrath is of great understanding? Because our God is an understanding God. And I just said he ain't just understanding, but he's a knowledgeable God and he's a wise God. So with Christ saying everything that we done already said in the Old Testament, it just goes to show his wisdom in the flesh of who he was, being God. You see what I'm saying? Proverbs again told us, and this makes sense. Put not thyself in the presence of the king, and stand not in the place of great men, for better is it that it be said, like I said, the rest of that verse 7, come up instead of being put low in the presence of the prince, like the Bible say, who your eyes have seen. And then Proverbs 14:8 says, when thou art bidden of any man to a wedding, Sit not down in the highest room, lest a more honorable man than thou be bidden of him. And he that bade thee in him come and say to thee, give this man place, and thou begin with shame to take the lowest room. So again, that's Christ speaking in the New Testament in Luke 14, verse 8 through 9. But we done already heard in Proverbs coming from another another man of Judah. These proverbs come from King Solomon, who Christ came from along that line. So you see exactly what's going on. All right. But that's what I want to hit with that. Just well, matter of fact, I'm gonna get back into that patience real quick because I wanted to relate that to a real life event that I thought of. But before I do that, let me just go here real quick because I just got through with Revelations again, so I'm back in Genesis. Matter of fact, I'm past Genesis, I'm in Exodus now. But I've seen a few things in Genesis that I jotted down that I wanted to go over. So I definitely want to talk about that out of Proverbs though, but out of Genesis. Basically, I'm gonna be talking to y'all real quick. Hold on, let me see if I got anything I was gonna get here. It's better that he didn't use it now. Well, I guess what I could say too with this is again, be patient. Putting yourself in the presence of the king and standing in the place of great men, you basically just button yourself into affairs that ain't got nothing to do with you. It's basically being hasty in spirit and not being patient like you should be. And that can, this verse ain't leading to eternal damnation, but basically it'll lead to humiliation. If somebody come and say, "Hey, what you doing sitting there? Get to the end of the line," something like that, you would kind of be feeling like, "Damn, that's how you feel about me," kind of like that. So this verse ain't really the last verse I read y'all out of Proverbs was basically, to say have those qualities of God and be patient. What this verse says, just kind of the same. Be patient. Don't just go button yourself into stuff. Be patient. Let things come as they are. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and do this. Speaking of patience, I was watching one of them basketball games on ABC, not the college games, but an NBA game about a month ago, and it was I know I was watching the Celtics, and they was playing the Mavericks. I think they was playing, and Jalen Brown was going crazy that game. Like he dunked on him twice. He dunked on I forgot who he dunked on. But he dunked on two people like back to back. And he was feeling it. Like Jalen Brown, like give me the ball, and he got the ball. Then he went and rushed up a three, and he ended up airballing. And then as I watched the rest of that game, I seen late in the third quarter, instead of just grabbing the three and rushing it up, Jason Tatum was doing his thing, and then he ended up kicking the ball out to Jalen Brown. And Jalen Brown, it was in the third quarter. If anybody got DVR, just go back and y'all can rewind the game. Y'all see what I'm talking about. But like I said, in the beginning, Jalen Brown was doing his thing, dunking on everybody. He was feeling. He wanted to feel it some more. Got the ball, chucked up an air ball. And then later on in the third, around the seventh quarter, I mean, right on the third quarter, like around the 7 minute mark, I think it was. I wrote it down as I seen it because I know I want to talk about this. But like I was saying, Jason Tatum was doing his thing, kicked the ball out to Jalen Brown, and Jalen Brown knocked the three down. And that's just what I'm saying about all this bringing it together, just in real time, being patient. When Jalen Brown was feeling it, he was dunking on everybody. He went and grabbed the ball, threw up that three. He ended up airballing because he wasn't being patient. I ain't gonna say because he wasn't being patient, because I ain't no basketball player. And I hate name dropping people because all I do is get this nigga a chance like, who is this nigga to tell me something about basketball? Yeah. I mean, I get it because there's some things I don't want people telling me nothing about. He the one out there dunking on people. But I'm saying that's just what I seen. He was doing this thing, grabbed the ball, chucked up an air ball. And then when Jason Tatum, when he let the game come to him later on in the third, Jason Tatum kicked that ball out to him. He was being patient, let the game come to him. He knocked the three down. You see what I'm saying? So just talking about being patient, just bringing it just into a real life point of view so everybody can, see that patient is. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you're gonna have to, do your thing and rush, but just overall being patient, it ain't too much wrong gonna come from it. And I was thinking about something too. So we all gonna die one day. So why rush into it? Be patient. Not in everything you do, because like I said, some things require you to be, hasty. But like I said, we all gonna die one day. Why, rush into it? Just be patient with mainly everything or most things you do in life. And you should, things should come to you as they should, especially if you're doing what you should be doing. But that's what I want to hit on with that. And a matter of fact, speaking of that game too, I think the Celtics actually ended up losing that game by 3 points or whatever. So I ain't saying they lost because of him or whatever. But I'm just saying though, we see how being patient can lead to good results. Of course, you're gonna have sometimes in life you be patient, you didn't get the things you want, but that don't mean you should start rushing through things. Everything gonna always go our way the way we want it to go our way in life. If it did, we might as well be God. If everything we wanted to happen gonna happen every time, but we ain't God. So sometimes we need God to have that mercy on us and all that, so that we could, appreciate God the way we supposed to. But I think I'm done in Proverbs and matter of fact, yeah, like I was saying, I was going to hit in Genesis real quick because I seen something. I was going over. I was looking at. I ain't even got to read the Bible for this. I'm gonna just tell y'all. Matter of fact, I do want to see something though. Matter of fact, I ain't got to. Uh, I was in Genesis when I was reading a story about the ark, and I remember when I told you I ain't used to believe in God, and I remember when I first stopped believing in God. The Noah's Ark story was one of the reasons why I stopped believing it. I just couldn't believe that. I'm like, it ain't no way in the world this old man built this big ark and got two of every animal on the planet to get on it. I just could not believe that. And that was just one of the reasons I stopped believing in God. But as I was reading it, like I said, I just got back in Genesis. I'm actually past it. Like I said, I'm in Exodus now. But as I was reading Genesis, I went back over the Noah's Ark story. And, as you read in the Bible, you realize that God is very, very, very detailed about everything he instructed you to do, whether it be to build his temple, how you should worship him, whatever. God is very, very, very detailed. And as I was reading a story about how Noah built this ark, I was reading about the instructions that how God told him to build it. He said, I want this to be this many cubits. I want this to be like this. And I noticed one thing God told Noah when he was telling him to build the ark. He said, I want you to go get going. I think it was called some gopher wood. Man, let me look that up real quick. But hold on real quick. Okay, yeah, see, exactly. This is exactly what I was thinking. All right. Like I was saying, I noticed when God told Noah to go build that ark, he told him specifically what type of wood to use. And like I said, it was some gopher wood he told him to use. And as I just Googled that gopher wood, I see how thick it is. Like it's like a big log. And so I can see why God would tell Noah to build this gopher wood. Because if you bring in lions and tigers and all these other animals on this ark, if you like some bamboo or some little wheat wood, they can just go right through that. So this is how you know it's true, just from even the type of wood that God was telling Noah to use inside the ark. So even the Bible didn't say so the animals can go through. But as I was thinking, as I was reading it, I'm like, that must be why God told Noah to use the type of materials that he was telling him to use them. And like again, like I said, like that's just one thing that didn't make sense to me as I was reading the Bible. I know a lot of people gonna feel that way too. Like they gonna see some things in the Bible and they gonna be like, nah, that definitely couldn't happen. And I just started thinking even more like, when a circus come into the town or whatever, and they bring in all these animals, they have all these animals on these big semi trailers, and they got them separated within the semi trailer. So I'm thinking like, if the circus can travel the country with animals, with all their animals in their trucks, then definitely Noah could put all his animals in the ark with the way God telling him to build this ark. And you got to think, as a matter of fact, let me put it like this. Damn, where my phone at? Whatever, I can't even find it. It's back there. I don't feel like getting it right now. But it's a picture of Haile Selassie. He was a king of Ethiopia. Matter of fact, they said he might come from the line of King Menelik, who was a descendant of King Solomon out the Bible. So either way though, it's a picture of Haile Selassie and one of his officials, and they was riding lions. Like literally, they had these lions tamed so good they could ride them. And we know it's like people who can talk to birds and all this type of stuff. So as I'm just thinking like about the whole Bible, I'm thinking like it all makes sense because, well, like I said, when I was first reading it, ain't none of it makes sense to me. I'm thinking like, how is a snake gonna be talking to Eve and Adam in the garden? Like that don't make sense. But we see clearly today, people can literally talk to animals. Like people literally train dogs with their word. If you tell your dog to sit, it's gonna sit. So if people can do that nowadays, then I definitely know people back in the day was, talking to snakes and all this stuff. 'Cause you got to be honest, like the world kind of, I mean, it's going, it's advancing as far as like things we know, technology and stuff. But as far as morals, like the stuff people doing and the stuff we allowing, like the world is kind of declining. So I'm like we getting smarter, but it's kind of like we getting so smart that we getting stupid, kind of, because we thinking things that God told us we can't do, we can do them because people got ways around it nowadays. Like you got all this technology and medicine and stuff you could Like God say, don't do the LGB stuff, but now people will be doing that because they're like, well, they cured HIV, so the LGB people probably won't even be so much worried about the type of stuff nowadays. You see what I'm saying? But well, like I was saying though, yeah, just for anybody who don't believe in God, just even if it's for a little story like Noah's Ark, just think about it. Like I said, this traveling the whole country with all the animals in these semi trucks, semi trailers, and all that. And you got to think back then they was living to be thousands of years old. So with Noah being almost 1,000 years old, I forget how old he was when he started building the ark. But with him being very old, of course, he had plenty of time to complete this. And as I'm thinking about it too, it ain't even like he did this all by himself because he had kids. And still, you got to think like back in the day, in the biblical days, when God dealing with you, he most likely gonna be blessing you. So Noah most likely he had like an abundance of sheep and cattle and all this stuff. He can, sell and all this stuff, or kind of trade for people to build on his ark. He'll see. I mean, if he dealing with sheep, people out there, multi talented. You can be a jack of all trades, but doing something like that, I'm imagining he had to, have plenty of cattle and all this stuff, and like I said, be trading with people. And as a matter of fact, the whole story of Noah was him trying to tell the world, like, stop sinning because God gonna flood the whole earth, but ain't nobody want to listen to him. So of course, him building this ark, he telling people like, this is how I want it built. I can only imagine people just laughing at him like, yeah, that crazy dude over there got me building this. Well, he got us building this ship for him, and he giving us sheep for this. He talking about the world gonna flood. He want to put two of every animal on it. I can just imagine how people, was thinking he was crazy and all that. But like I said, just it's all making sense. The more you live, the more you think. Like I said, just you know, this ain't really about nothing about being patient or nothing like how I was just talking about in Proverbs. But like I was saying, just for anybody out there who ain't believing in God, like you kind of on the fence, like you just don't know, like people telling you God real or whatever, and you just don't believe it. Like I'm saying, especially if it's because of something like this, like the Noah's Ark story, you just won't be able to believe it. Just just look at how the circus operates today, how they move all the animals and stuff like that. So, you know, I mean, whatever. This like I said, this one about this lesson I'm doing right here, this Noah's Ark story, it ain't really none for most of y'all to be listening to. This is really for people who don't believe in God. If I can change their mind or whatever, just definitely, kind of speak the truth and just make it make sense. Kind of like I'm saying, just not even with the circus, how they travel, but look at how people train animals nowadays. So, of course, if people were talking to snakes and stuff, or if people were talking to dogs now, then of course I can believe that people, talking. Noah could talk to the birds, and you ain't even got to talk to them. It's way, like I said, you can train all these animals. So, that's just really, you know, all I got. I said this was gonna be a quick word of God. I ain't want it to be too long, but no, that's just what I mean, I really got more, but I don't think I need to elaborate on every little single thing though. So the little things that I do have, I might make that part of a next lesson whenever I get back to it. But just reading over Genesis, got through Proverbs and all that. That's just what I caught this time around as I was in it. So I said this is gonna be a quick word. And I ain't really got too much to say, so I'm out.